Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys enjoy this one. If you're new, welcome. Um, Everything within this video is just my own personal opinion. I want to share with you guys my own general view on the crypto market, the stock market, and how that correlates with CPI and uh, Fed rates, as well as what my rate cut expectations are and how that correlates with of course, these assets. None of this is financial opinion. Again, none of this is financial advice. It's just my own general view, my own opinion on all of this, and I'm just sharing it with you guys as well. So before I'm able to show you guys what my overall view on Bitcoin is and how this affects the rest of the crypto market, as well as how CPI and Fed rates affect the stock market, I want to show you guys some charts involving CPI and the Fed rates as well. So for the federal funds effective rate, so what the rates actually look like on a larger time scale, back from 1954. You guys can check this out. This is on this website up here. If you just look up Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, you can find this chart and you can change the date to kind of mess around with it. But the belief is that mid-September, uh, no earlier or later, or I should say no later than mid-September, we should see a rate cut, rather 0.25 or 0.5%. The last Federal Reserve meeting, Jerome Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, did say that he was looking to cut rates already, but he wanted to wait a little bit more. And then shortly after that is when we started seeing the uh, all this recession fears in the markets that caused a big dip recently. So this dip that we saw over here caused a lot of fear and a lot of how should I say uncertainty, and a pretty good buying opportunity in my opinion. But regardless, real soon we should see a rate cut where we begin. The Federal Reserve starts to cut rates, and then we see a nice drop. And then throughout the rest of the year, as well as throughout 2025, we should continue to see a further drop, coming back down to, hopefully we can see sub one. Hopefully we can see sub one levels. That will be really, really cool, and that'll be very bullish on the. If you're long on stocks and cryptos, that should be very bullish and should push prices higher, in my opinion. But of course, due to the markets kind of stabilizing recently, and a lot of this uh, recession fears have kind of been settled, not getting better, but they've been kind of settled. The possibility of seeing a early rate cut, in my opinion, is just much less likely than a regular scheduled rate cut, unless things just happen to get worse and we see a massive market dump shortly. But also, one thing I'm kind of surprised about is short term. I honestly thought we were going to see um, a little bit more consolidation, or in this lower discounted half of this retracement area, a little bit more consolidation. But I was actually surprised to see um, Bitcoin break above the zero point 0.5 today. I thought it was going to just take a little bit more time, personally. But yeah, that's good to see. That shows a lot of strength. It shows that a lot of buyers are taking over. On a smaller time scale from that last chart I showed you, this is kind of what it looks like. Again, this is another chart. You guys can look it up on Trading Economics. It's United States Fed funds interest rate. It kind of shows you how they've been how aggressively they've been raising rates, and then of course how long they have been holding it for. And soon, so over here, um, shortly after the September line, so mid-September, we should start seeing, uh, a dip. Hopefully, sub, or if we can see exactly 5. Hopefully, we can see a 0.5. It'll be a lot better than 0.25. I do feel that it is appropriate to do the more aggressive rate. cut than the lower one, just because it seems appropriate enough. It does seem like it's time for a more aggressive one, but this is my opinion. We have over here as well a chart going pretty far back, well before I was born, and it kind of shows you how overall prices, food, energy, U.S. city average, have been going up, and I expect this to continue going up forever, basically. Even on low interest rate and low inflationary environments, we see prices even slowly going up, and then high inflation environments, it just goes up more aggressively. And as you can see, since 2020, we've been seeing prices um, on the more aggressive side. So hopefully we see this kind of like slowly, like, you know decrease the acceleration that it's rising. Because why not? Everyone prefers that. Um, Here's another chart. This is the U.S. Core Consumer Price Index. This one goes back to later in 2019, and it just shows you basically the inflation rate on overall, just what the core CPI is. So we see, uh, you know, nicely seeing prices go up a lot, and then ever since aggressively, raising rates, we started to see prices come down. We're not at 2%, as you can see, we're still above 3% on this chart. Um, but that's all right. We're in the trade. We're making lower percentage each time, and we're seeing progress. I feel like if we do even a 0.5, it still leaves interest rates high enough where I feel like that's going to do a fairly good job at fighting the inflation rate short term, where we can see this hopefully drop below 3%. It, I strongly believe, and this is my opinion, that even if we do reach 2%, because it's a possibility we don't, but because of course, rates need to be cut. There's a lot of struggling going on in the U.S. There's a lot of um, including in the government too. High interest rate environments is hurting everyone entirely, pretty much. Uh, and I feel like even if we do see a 2%, it won't last long. I feel like this will be short-lived. I feel like eventually we're gonna start averaging 3% will be ideal. 2%, I feel like now it's too aggressive. I feel like it's really difficult for the U.S. to keep inflation rate that low for time. It's just I feel like times are changing. It's just my opinion. Times are changing, and we're gonna see um, eventually 3% will be the target in the future. We'll see how that goes. I really don't feel like it's sustainable. This is my opinion, of course. And then over here we have this is a really cool chart because you guys can actually interact with it. I won't be messing with it too much, but I'm just gonna leave it on all items. But you guys can do like natural gas. You guys can add multiple things at once. If you guys want to look at specific things or just specifically certain things, um, and how they correspond with each other. But this is on the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, and um, as you can see, you know, how prices have been changing throughout low and high interest rate environments. So how food prices have reacted to it, how fast they're rising, energy prices. But I'm just going to leave it again in all items. It just shows you how quickly they've been going up, and then since interest rates have risen, we start seeing prices fall back down. And again, um, the idea is that we should see this fall a bit more as as the Federal Reserve continues or begins and then continues to lower rates as well. We can expect the next CPI report. There's another one coming out on August 14th, so that's 2 days from now. I believe that's a Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. This is very exciting because if we see the report to be lower than to making progress as showing that prices are going lower, it's making progress. If it's making progress, lowering lower CPI, the lower it goes, the better. So if we start seeing progress being made in this, we can definitely see a lot of optimism for more confidence that a interest rate cut will happen um, next month, as well as if it's much lower, it shows a lot more aggressive, prices going lower more aggressively. We can expect a stronger 0.5 um, rate cut than the 0.25, which would be really cool. But if we see prices go back up, if we don't see progress being made, most likely, you know, it's probably going to push towards an aggressive earlier rate cut, in my opinion, just because I don't believe that the U.S. can handle. Well, I mean, it could at the end of the day, like it could, but I don't think it's a good idea to keep rates high for too much longer. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, as we continue to move forward, um, in the past, every time there's a rate cut, it doesn't it does not always take effect right away when it comes to asset prices. Sometimes we can see prices stay flat or even go down short term, and then eventually you'll see, prices inflate on a lot of these assets um, shortly afterwards. So it may happen right away, but a lot of the time it doesn't. Just to, just to make sure a lot of you are just being cautious on a lot of these short-term positions if you are a short-term trader, which is awesome in my opinion. I feel like a little bit of all kind of time frame trading is pretty cool. There's always opportunity, always in the markets everywhere you look, but due to the natural price appreciation of assets as they deserve it, like Bitcoin, it's going to be less in supply over time. The inflation rate of Bitcoin goes down every 4 years. It gets halved, hence having event, the name. And then, of course, even if we don't have rate cuts, I still expect Bitcoin to go where it should be going throughout 2024 and 2025 bull run. Um, it just depends. Like if we get these rate cuts and we start aggressively cutting rates, we can potentially just see um, prices reach $100,000 a lot sooner than it would by itself naturally. But regardless, due to interest rate cuts and the natural price appreciation of a lot of assets, we can see this is one of the reasons we're going to see Bitcoin start moving higher, and as Bitcoin moves higher, that also influences other things like excuse me, a lot of pretty much everything went down recently with the recession fear. So we can see Ethereum start to move higher, and we can start seeing $5,000 eventually throughout this bull run. I'm looking at $5,000. It's very, very possible in my opinion. We got Solana. Solana should start seeing all-time highs soon and start maybe reaching like somewhere $300 to $500 for the bull run. So I'm gonna remove this. I haven't done a Solana video in a while, and I need to restructure the. I'm gonna have to restructure a lot of these technical analysis that I have here, just because a lot of it is no longer valid, and I need to make a new one. But regardless, this is my conservative all-time high or my conservative bull market top for Solana, as you can see there. Um, and then some other stuff there's opportunities everywhere. I feel like a lot of assets are going to be appreciation. I can't speak. Jeez, appreciating very well soon. Gosh, I need to like practice on my speech or something. But but yeah, I see things going up quite nicely for a lot of different assets. Um, what's another one? Let's look at Shiba Inu. What that looks like. Oh, this is from a post I did a while back. Yeah, we can remove this. I need to update. I need to update a lot of these older charts. I haven't gone on these in a while. The market cap for Shiba Inu, we should start seeing this rise as Bitcoin goes up and interest rates get cut. It's looking real nice as well. This is all very exciting. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but this is all, in my opinion, very exciting. There's a lot of opportunity right now. Hey, look, I never noticed that before. Um, but yeah, there's a lot of really nice opportunities uh, being presented. So yeah, I hope you guys are taking advantage of these lower prices as much as I am. But yeah, yeah, I'm just admiring these charts right now. There's so much upside, especially since Bitcoin's going to influence a lot of these other cryptos, and we have the interest rate cuts coming soon. It's looking super nice. Um, we should start seeing real soon the S&P make new all-time highs once again, because it's definitely, in my opinion, way too early for prices to make this like an overall swing high, or we start seeing a lower, some bearish trend form. In my opinion, is way too early. I strongly personally believe we're going to start seeing all-time highs being retested and broken soon, especially since we're approaching those rate cuts, and there's going to be a lot of optimism, especially with CPI coming up soon. Um, if CPI turns out to be good, oh yeah, we're going to see a lot of really nice price appreciation later this week. I'm really excited for it. Let's see how Mara looks as well. I'm just skipping through a bunch of charts right now because they all look so amazing. We have Mara retesting the support area in red over here. We'll see how that goes. Continues throughout the rest of the week. It's going to highly depend on Bitcoin and how that looks. This is my crypto market. When Bitcoin goes and starts reaching its bull cycle top, this is my estimate for Mara where it would be. Um, so we'll see how that evolves over time. So it's looking real good. Let's look at MicroStrategy. Yeah, MicroStrategy is going to appreciate much more as we continue to see Bitcoin appreciate as well. It's a big player in the Bitcoin space. So yeah, MicroStrategy looking like a really good buying opportunity for swing traders. Looking real good in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I'm just admiring these charts at the moment. Like, I have nothing else to talk about right now. Yeah, guys, I hope you guys are, staying super positive. Don't let these shakeouts, these dips, scare you, because yeah, no, it's an incredible time to buy. I feel like adding real soon, depending how this week goes for Bitcoin, I might add to my BitU position. Um, I bought like 150 shares of BitU. I shared it in one of my previous videos. I showed a screenshot of the transaction. At like $20.60 something cents. So I'm up a little bit on it. But I don't plan to sell this until, or begin to sell this until, like, if I need the cash for some reason, or I don't plan to really start selling this until Bitcoin reaches $100,000, and we should start seeing. Um, I think this should be at least at $50 per share before, or roughly around the time Bitcoin reaches $100,000 potentially. So yeah, guys, this is looking real good. The CPI coming up soon this week. We have I'm expecting that to actually be positive. I'm expecting it to be a good report. We have interest rate cuts coming up soon. Everything's just happening, and also by the time interest rate cuts happen, it will also be in that like 4 to 8 month um, time frame after the halving event, when we start to see Bitcoin mining revenue for a lot of these companies begin to recover. Um, so yeah, it's super exciting. There's a lot of really good stuff happening soon. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let's see how this week goes. I think it's gonna be a good one. I think it's gonna be a good one. So yeah, let's keep an eye on those short-term uh, price levels, the trends, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.